The assassin's poison skill is excessively underwhelming. It's superfluous, overly complex, and heavily reliant on RNG. Hey there, Baku here, and for today's video we're gonna talk about the assassin's poison skills. So, I've been looking forward to talking about this thing for a while now. I've been testing out these skills and they are quite fun, for the most part. For those who don't know, Asabimo introduced us to DOT through the assassin skill, which has been out for quite some time now. Unlike most DPS skills, which are typically straightforward and deal immediate damage, this one operates conditionally. It requires you to stack progressive poison effects and manage RNG before it can deal effective damage. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll just show you how these skills function and how they interact with each other. The first skill, Venom Injection, an active skill that allows you to inflict poison on an enemy. Next skill, Corrosive Poison, a passive that enables the poison effect from Venom Injection to stack. Not only that, when the poison stacks, players' attack will also be able to inflict poison damage, skills included. The next skill, Venom Thief, absorbs the corrosive poison and gets rid of the poison status on the target. If what you've absorbed is an enhanced poison, you'll heal from it and restore some MP. And lastly, the main highlight of this poison tree, the Death Reception. Using the poison stacks absorbed by the Venom Thief, inflicts damage and applies the deadly poison debuff to the enemy. Do note that the damage of the DOT depends on the damage of the initial damage. On top of that, while the deadly poison debuff or the DOT is active, using Arcane Strike won't consume any MP and trigger an explosion. In essence, poison skills work like this. Activate Venom Injection, stack the poison to 2, then absorb it using Venom Thief, then cast Death Reception, and watch the damage happen. And to fully maximize the deadly poison debuff, use Arcane Strike to trigger Explosion. Then just repeat the cycle. Quick note that you can immediately absorb the corrosive poison after all that rotation as long as you have prepared a stack beforehand. Pretty awesome, right? The rotation wasn't even that hard. So what's the problem? The problem relies on the RNG factor of Venom Injection. Cause you see, the chance of inflicting depends on your crits or graze. I'm a monkey brain, but you don't have to explain that to me to know why that's bad. Crits can proc it easily. But grazing on the other hand. Yeah, that struggles a lot. So, if you want to really min-max playing this, you'll want to graze less, by building high hit or accuracy. And no, crit rate doesn't affect graze. Graze is an attack that would result in a miss if the crit didn't proc. Graze is solely affected by your hit or accuracy and the monsters flee. Crit and accuracy are different. Accuracy makes sure you hit the target, assuming you don't have guaranteed crit. Crit rate lets your attacks deal critical damage. Toram players build 100 crit rate so their attacks won't miss because guaranteed crit always hits. The 100 crit rule is basically just to make sure you touch the target. So, in short, this one struggles in high flee or high death bosses where you're prone to graze. Such a shame because you can't use Brave Aura for your own, and that's another downside. Aside from being RNG based, the next problem that I had with it is that it favors some weapons. I mean, why do halberds and one-handed swords have the advantage over other weapons that use the same sub-weapon? It limits the opportunity for other weapons to utilize this properly. For example, the auto MD skill sounds perfect with this setup, but without the right adjustments, it's not as effective. And maybe even the auto attack build from Knuckles? Maybe Bowgun Dagger, but Bowguns is already OP, so I get why they don't allow that. The concept of adding DOT into the game is pretty good, but the execution is lacking. Requiring crit for it to be effective isn't optimal, as focusing on building hit or accuracy sacrifices a lot of damage. Additionally, accuracy isn't even considered a desirable stat, as it gets replaced with crit. And just to clarify, I don't have a problem with its damage, cause I think its damage for a T for skill is pretty strong. There's just a problem with execution. How they should have done the accuracy problem. Have accuracy scaling, remove the graze and crit chance? I don't know, but I have a few ideas. Idea 1. Venom accuracy boost. Make it when casting Venom injection you get 100 accuracy and 10% extra accuracy per stack for every time you do basic attacks, a max of 10 stacks. And then at maximum stacks, guarantee a critical hit on the next Venom damaging attack, and all the stacks will be consumed. If that skill sounds familiar, it's because it's similar to Samurai Archery from Shot Skills. This next idea might sound a bit ambiguous, but hear me out. A Subimo, take down notes ha. What if, just imagine, what if we can convert our crit rate into an attack and accuracy? Make a skill similar to conversion and dual bringer, but for crit rate, where a percentage of your crit rate is converted into accuracy and attack. For example, 75% of your crit rate multiplied by 3 equals accuracy for crit to accuracy conversion, and 50% of your crit rate is converted to attack. So if you have, let's say, a 210 crit rate which is still achievable, it'll be converted to 473 accuracy and 105 attack. Which is nice and pretty reasonable, isn't it? Yes? So take note of Subimo. You can use this as one of your T5 skills, and you're welcome. I also think that this might make use of the CRT stat, and hey, it's on theme with assassins. The only downside that I find on these though is when you don't need that extra accuracy, especially on low def. Well anyways, that's that. So, that wraps up the video. I just really want to talk about this one because it's quite fun to be honest, and sad that it's kinda floppy. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is Baku and I'm yeeting out.